don't think there's anything wrong with Mal having a bias for his friend. If another podcast called Mal a pedophile, and we all know for a fact Mal's not a pedophile, and let's say it worked. Everyone was going around saying Mal's a pedophile. You don't think I'd have a bias in screaming that Mal's not a pedophile? That was a corny fucking move. Of course I would.
But this is the thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
The issue is when we're trying to get Mal to admit that he has said bias, Mal will say he doesn't have a bias. And I don't think that that's true.
I don't know if we've ever
I had full out Patreon episode. You weren't here. I sat in that exact spot where you're at, and I asked Mal, did he have a Drake bias? And he said no.
Oh, as far as when it comes to music?
When it comes to period, that's your friend.
No, yeah, but I don't have a bias when it comes to his music. I've sat on here and said when I didn't like Drake. No, I sat on here and said when I didn't like the single he dropped with led was him and SZA, the Slime You.
Oh yeah.
We were having a conversation about the Kendrick battle and the conversation. Oh, in
the battle? I'm riding with my nigga. I don't give a fuck who the other side is.
Okay, but
I'm riding with my man. It's a battling we talking about. Yeah, I'm on this side. And battling, you got to pick a side, which is why I don't fuck with what your man did. You got to pick a side. Pick a side. That's all. Win, lose, or draw. We gonna pick a side over here. I'll take the L, but I ain't gonna be playing double dutch. Nah, we don't do that. So yeah, if it comes to a battle, I'm always riding with my niggas.
And that's where it said, you don't do that. We don't do that. You're setting hip hop rules.
Don't do what?
Not suing in a hip battle, in a rap battle, or not taking rap battles legal is also a hip hop rule. So you can't sit there and say we don't do this, but the other shit we don't do. You cool with.
But you crossing the lines because you saying taking a hip hop battle to court.
I said legal.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not about the battle. It's the business that was done behind a record that was used in a battle. Kendrick Duckworth is not being asked to come to no court or nothing at all. So this isn't about that. This is about what the business did with a song that was used during a battle. This is not about the outcome of a battle and, I'll bring Kendrick in here because he said this about. No, this is not that. Yo, I feel like y'all did some funny shit because y'all know the type of negotiations we having. I feel like y'all did some funny shit behind this record, and I can also prove it. And I also have language in my contract to where y'all violated my contract.
Okay. So final question and we can move on. Do you feel like if Kendrick had put out Not Like Us and it said nothing about pedophilia and still blew up as big as it did, do you feel like Drake would still be suing UMG? If he called him something else, wasn't pedophile.
I feel like
called him something else, still blew up.
I feel like no matter what, if he feels like something in his contract was violated and he's in the middle of one of the biggest negotiations an artist has ever been in the middle of in the history of music, I feel like he would be going to court for it.
Do you think, and I'll ask this again because we kind of went past it, as the final question, do you think Kendrick Lamar has a case against UMG as well?
As far as
defamation. You funded a couple records that said I beat my wife, used my wife's name, talked about my children that aren't mine. Does he not also have a defamation case?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
If he filed that defamation case, if this battle had went the opposite way, if
Kendrick comes out tomorrow and files a defamation case of UMG, I would be like, yo, if they violated some of this contract, I hope he gets all the money he wants.
Okay. All right, cool.
Rory and Mal, former co-hosts of the Joe Budden podcast and prominent figures in the podcasting world, have often shared their opinions on the ongoing drama in hip-hop, including the rivalry between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. In the context of their discussions on the feud, they've provided insights into how the situation has played out, both publicly and behind the scenes. From their perspective, one of the most notable points was how they believe Drake, at least in terms of public perception, lost the beef. This conclusion was drawn from the way Kendrick Lamar's Control verse in 2013 shook up the hip-hop world. On that track, Kendrick made headlines for calling out multiple rappers, including Drake, which intensified the spotlight on their rivalry. Rory and Mal have pointed out that while Drake, with his usual confidence, initially responded in a nonchalant manner, it became apparent that he was avoiding direct confrontation with Kendrick. In comparison, Kendrick's approach to the beef seemed more rooted in lyrical prowess and a deeper sense of authenticity to his craft, which resonated more with hip-hop fans. For Rory and Mal, it seemed like Drake didn't fully engage in the way some fans expected, especially considering the type of competitive energy Kendrick brought to the table. Additionally, Rory and Mal have discussed how Drake's approach to beef, in general, is often calculated and strategic. They believe that Drake is more focused on maintaining his status and playing it safe rather than engaging in a full-fledged, public lyrical war. Kendrick, on the other hand, they argued, showed a willingness to elevate the competition and put himself out there as the true king of rap. One of the key takeaways from their commentary was how they saw Drake's quiet response as a form of losing the beef. Instead of confronting Kendrick directly with a high-profile diss track, he took a more indirect route, which they viewed as an avoidance of the tension that could have helped solidify his place in the competitive landscape of hip-hop at the time. Rory and Mal have always leaned towards supporting artists who stand firm in their beliefs and don't shy away from competition, which is why, in their eyes, Kendrick's boldness in the beef with Drake earned him more respect.